scribing these rhymes by candlelight.
So pay your dues, don't nobody make it overnight.
Now be real and tell me how it feel. I bubble with the underground mass appeal. Late night scribing these rhymes by candlelight.
So pay your dues, don't nobody make it overnight.
Okay, Golden Era 2 is out. How have you guys grown together creatively as artists since Return to the Golden Era?
I mean, personally I just got older, so things just change with age. I would say phonics just improved. When you start making a little bit more money, you buy more equipment, studio change, everything changes. So, I've even seen his knowledge and just grow, mix and mastering, and stylistically, you start to lean in on who you are. I mean, me lyrically, I just lean more into my pen and our pocket, that sound, that jazzy, funky, soulful sound. And lately I'm starting to lean more further into positivity and, introspection as well.
Yeah, basically just with returning there, I didn't. I was just starting out. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't have any equipment. I was just mixing the album in my car on some little laptop speakers. And I think now I just kind of sharpened all my skills a lot more with the new album. And I felt a lot more comfortable with all the equipment and everything.
Okay. A1, listening to this album, the lyrics seem like you were in a dark place during the recording of this. Um, I know a lot of MCs say it's therapeutic to get their feelings out, but does it ever become overwhelming to write out and verbalize so many tough things going on in your life?
Yeah, it does. Like, it's some songs that I can't get through. Like, from the first Golden Era, Blood In, Blood Out, it's hard for me to get through those records. One time in Berlin, I was at an in-store and I realized what I was saying in the verse, and I realized that the people and the time I'm reflecting on, you just start to have memories of people that are gone, and you like, oh shit, they supposed to be here, and this really happened, and then you start living through those moments. So I'm rapping the verse, and all I remember is like I'm rapping in real time what happened, and then you start to get those memories back and you see dead bodies, you know what I mean, you see the sheets, you see the police. I saw my little cousin with this random chick, and I wanted to kill her. Like, I'm like, yo, you set my brother up, like, you got my knee. It's just, you see all those things, and you still have to get in the focus. So it's hard, but this time I felt like writing these things out, I needed to just vent and say a lot of things and be introspective. I thought of it as, letting some of my thoughts go as a way to let go and have people gain something positive from it. You know what I mean? Like, to see that, yo, it's not as bad as it could be. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through shit too, like gray skies is a prayer. It starts off with a prayer. God, give me the strength to continue. You know what I mean? It's like adversity, the only thing on the menu. Like, just, I think I just want to show people I'm right there with you. I'm in the trenches too. We have ups and downs as human beings. So it gets hard sometimes, but with this album, it wasn't as bad as the first one because, it's more introspective as opposed to telling stories of people.
Mm, okay. Um, on the song Late Night, you have a line about the internet where you say they only promote the evil, suppressed voices that's regal. If your mentality is slave, that's how they gonna treat you. Explain that rhyme.
Mm, yeah, I love that one. So it's just that today society has been promoting like negativity for a long time, it sells. You know, gangsterism, you know, misogyny, sexuality, all of that negative shit that we see daily. And you know, anytime you have to search for positivity, you have to search for the positive voices, you got to search for positive music or representations within the culture, because those things don't necessarily, they're not necessarily lucrative, you know, and that's what I mean. So if you acting like a jackass out here, and you know, you acting like you know, a slave, act and having that mentality, not to say that slaves is like, oh yeah, yeah, boss, you know, but what I mean is acting as if you have an inferiority complex and you don't know who you are. And that can be anybody. It doesn't matter about the racial persuasion. It just matters that, yo, if you're not aware of what's going on, somebody's going to take advantage of you. You know what I mean? And they're gonna exploit you. So that's for the artist that, yo, if you acting like a slave, they're gonna treat you like one, they're gonna exploit you. So I say to everybody, be mindful of this. This is a business. And you got all these young motherfuckers in here in this game wanting to get money, but this is not about money. Music doesn't make money. You know, what you sell attached to the music is what makes money. You know, physical, tangible goods. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it means. It's like, yo, learn your craft, learn your whatever discipline you in, and whether it's art, music, whatever, you know, you could be an electrician. Learn the game, man. You know, be focused. So that's just to say, be on top of your game.
Okay. Um, the song Everything on Golden Era 2 is one of my favorites. Phonics, without snitching. What genre did you get that string sample from?
That was actually it was from a movie. It was from a movie soundtrack, and then I actually I forget what it was. I heard a little like 3 second sample or something online, and I think it actually came up on Shazam. And then I dug around, I found where the original was from. And then found a YouTube video where everyone was like, "Oh my God, are we all here because we heard this little couple second sample?" It was like a sports documentary or something like that. And then a bunch of people found it, and then that was actually one of the few samples on the album that was on TrackLib, which is like a sample licensing service. So that one's all
Oh,
clear. We're all good on that one, and the sample's fucking crazy. So that was like a blessing in disguise. If it's a fire sample, it was on TrackLib. It was just a yeah, it all came together perfectly. But yeah, I agree. Just the strings and everything. I've had that sample in my back pocket for like 3 or 4 years. I've been waiting to use that one. So
Ooh. Yeah,
ooh,
3 or 4 seconds. That's some havoc shit. I just listened. I found the sample of "Give Up the Goods" today. It's just the like the first 3 seconds. Like that's havoc.
that's Q-Tip, right? Q-Tip did give up the goods.
Did he or
Yeah,
did he do Trifle?
I don't know about he definitely did give up the goods.
Really? He did. So he did two on the first joint. He
I think
did
so.
what's the other one? Drink Away the Pain. I know he did
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but yeah, so he did give up the goods. Wow,
Oh
Q-Tip. I
man,
didn't
that's
know
that's
that.
that's Q-Tip all the way.
Oh my gosh.
You could
Oh
kind
my
of
gosh.
tell,
I
but
thought it
yeah,
was havoc.
again, another scientist. Like he
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Q-Tip
for
is
sure, for sure, for sure.
crazy.
You
Yeah,
learn
yeah,
something new every day. I've been listening to that album for years and never knew he did multiple joints on it.
yeah, yeah, definitely, man. And he murdered him. God,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that was
that's one
like
of my favorites
95.
on.
Q-Tip was in his zone in the 90s, though. He was
Yeah, 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 yeah. He
God,
was.
he was on fire. Um, this album seems more soulful than jazzy to me. Would you say that's an accurate assessment? And if it is, it was that intentional?
Um, I don't necessarily know all of the origins of the samples of the music, but I would agree that it's just more soulful. And I think that it's just some of it is the writing. and the approach to the production, like my writing approach to the production in the way that I came at it. I felt like it was from a soulful, introspective kind of OG place. Me going within and, biographical type of deal. So it depends where, he got some of them plates from. We don't do a whole lot of samples. Just so I let phonics derive, where if the soul genre is where a lot of that came from. But I agree, it's definitely soulful and funky.
No, definitely. That's kind of, I wouldn't say it's by design, but it's sort of like with the albums I do with Anti Lily, and then when I do my solo instrumental shit, I sort of burn a lot of the jazz samples with those because I give Anti a lot of the jazz samples, and then with my instrumental shit, I do a lot of the jazz samples, and then with A1, I'm like, all right, I kind of give him like the soul banger type tracks. So like I saved those for him. So like especially our last couple albums, I feel like they sort of lean soulful just because those are the beats I saved for A1. So
Hmm,
it's definitely I completely agree. This is more soulful than I always try to do a couple like jazz hop type joints because that's what a lot of our fans really gravitate towards. But I feel like A1 kind of shines on the soulful beats.
hmm, for sure. Phonics, I see you on Instagram playing the guitar. When did you pick up guitar or any other instrument, and how often do you incorporate live instruments into the beats?
So I've been playing guitar since I was like probably 10, 12 years old. I think maybe 12 years old. But I really started incorporating it more into the beats like a couple years ago because we got hit for a couple samples. And then I was like, all right, I got to start replaying shit and doing more live stuff. So yeah, once a couple people came looking for a check, then I was like, all right, I'm gonna start uh, playing more stuff from scratch. And that's when I really got into adding guitar and just keyboards and all that to the beats.
Oh man, that that sucks, bro. Like that.
Nah, I mean, bro, it'll ruin your day, man, when you get that email.
I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure. God, that's hey, track. You talked about track lib a little bit. How has that changed how you move?
It's great, man. I mean, I can never just only use that because it's just a limited library of shit, but it's incredible, man. There's some you could for sure make an album all from that. It's just to me, I gotta get in the real crates too. So like on this album, we have a couple joints from that are track lib, but a lot of it isn't too, but. I mean, it's a great resource, man. And the more that they get bigger, because the original sample, the people who made the music, they should get a cut. If there was an easy way to give the original sample owners whatever 30%, whatever percent of every track, I would do that without even thinking about it. We could serve a cut, but it's just so convoluted to figure out who owns the rights and all that to a lot of this shit that it's just easier to do it on the back end or whatever. But
Yeah.
TrackLib is a great service for sure.
Yeah.
But if I had my way, I would make sure that I think everyone they should get a cut. But
Definitely, definitely. I was watching God, now I can't think of what it was. 'Cause Common and Pete Rock had been everywhere promoting this album. But
yeah,
in one of those interviews, Common was saying how Bobby Caldwell got 100% for the light, all the
oh,
publishing.
really,
And yeah, he's like, but he deserves that. He's like, that's the biggest song of my career. And it wouldn't
yeah. Wow,
be,
that's crazy.
yeah. So he didn't get anything for that song. And it's his
I mean,
biggest
I don't know
song.
about 100%, but yeah, I mean, he deserves 50 at least for sure.
No, he wanted 100.
Yeah.
He got 100. And he said like Questlove
But
and
at the end of the
everybody.
day, whether it's 100%, but then that song still exists where it could be
Yeah.
he could have just squashed it or made them pull it or whatever. So
Well, he
a
said
hundred percent is better than nothing, right?
better. I mean, he needs that song. That's his go-to
Yeah,
song. That's what he
for
closes
sure,
shows with.
for sure.
Um,
Right, and he can still perform it and all that.
still,
So
still, and that's it's. I mean, it's his biggest. Like B was a successful record, but like what singles off there was like really
yeah,
radio singles. You know what I mean? That was just like the Kanye hype, whatever.
yeah.
But when he was talking, he said Questlove told him take this song off, get rid of it, and he stood his ground. What would
Yeah.
that album be without the light? You know what I mean? Like Water for Chocolate would still be a good record, but had to be there, man. It's
Questlove said, "Get
Yeah.
the light out of there."
yes,
Questlove was
Yeah, that's
bugging.
bro. You can't. That's why you can't take other people's advice, bro. You gotta just go with your gut.
Furthermore, he said it was
Other people's
whack.
advice is trash most of the
He
time,
said
man.
it was whack.
Yeah,
Like that's not a whack song. He said it
Nah,
was he said it was too simple.
yeah.
I
That's a.
get
It's just a perfect example of why you got to go with your gut and not. You
yeah,
can't. Even
yeah,
if it's Questlove, even if it's whoever, man, you can't. You can't listen to people sometimes, man.
definitely, definitely.
that's
Um that's an interesting take. Okay, so you guys working together. Do you ever have hard discussions about what leaves and what goes? I mean, what stays and what is on the
Man, we've had
back
like
burner?
we've had damn near zero arguments in our 10 years working together, man. We have such a great relationship. We've never argued about anything. Like A1 will trust me, or if he go takes a hard stance on something, I'll trust him, and we just roll with it like that. Like I can count on I can't even count on one hand how many real arguments we've had over that type of shit. Like it just doesn't really happen.
yeah. I trust Phonics' ear. I write lyrics. I'm a rapper. I'm not a producer. I trust his ear. I don't care how many times he changes a beat, he flips it, he can move the verses around and arrange it, whatever. I trust his ear because I came into hip hop, and this is why I trust his ear, not my ear. I came into hip hop first with the DJ. You know what I'm saying? The DJ was the first person, the first actual person that I saw do something with hip hop. You know what I mean? Not the MC. So I heard music from the DJ first. That was the thing. So I always trust their ear because they say, MC me move the crowd. That's what Ross said. Nah, the DJs was moving the crowd. And I'm talking about park jams when I was a little kid on somebody's shoulder, seeing the sea of people, with a DJ controlling those people. So I trust his ear because he's making the music. He knows what the people want. He knows what they're gravitating towards. You know what I mean? And I do that with everybody, like most producers, unless you just doing some weird shit, you know what I mean? Like a producer doing something that's just odd or just out of whack. I really just trust the ears of the people making the music because that's what their job is. Like I'm not gonna step on nobody's toes because I don't want nobody telling me, yo, you should say this like this, man. Like the fuck? Like, can you rap? You know what I'm saying? Like are you an MC? Now, some producers are MCs, but most of the time, it's like telling the barber, like, yo, you doing it wrong. Nah, we don't, you know what I'm saying? So I just learned how to trust other people that I'm working with because that's a true collaboration. That's what it is. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, that could be one of our secrets to success. I've never told A1 how to rap, and he's never told me how to make a beat in 10 plus years. We just let each other do our thing, and it always ends up working out well.
yeah, you gotta trust people you work with, man. That's just the reality of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, nobody likes a micromanager. I talk to a lot of producers often. Like I have more producer friends than rapper friends. And the shit that they go through with rappers is horrendous. You know what I mean? Like rappers should be ashamed of themselves, the shit they put producers through. I'm talking about telling people to change the tempo of a beat, send them variations of tempos, do things with the sample. Just I mean, people crazy as hell, man. Like
Well,
I feel for the producer
that's
that's
a
out there today dealing with today's MC. And that's why a lot of rappers don't have success.
that's a tough call though. Okay. Well, if you're that rapper, and let me say I've dealt with that. Like I've never done anything that you guys have ever heard, but I've sent a lot of beats to people, and um I get a lot of that. Hey, change this. Hey, do that. Hey, take that out. And I feel a certain way about it, but if they don't like it, you know what I mean? Like what's the appropriate, like isn't that like meeting halfway?
Um, to a degree, but it comes to a point where nothing gets done. It comes to a point where it doesn't come into fruition.
Right.
So ain't nobody really putting no art out if you can't get past go. You know what I mean? And I understand that everybody has a different creative process, but everybody is not a ghost face killer coming to the studio with records like, yo, I heard this, this is the sample, this is that. That's leave that to cats like Ghost, who have that, knowledge of music and sampling. Cause he's been around one of the greatest producers to ever live. Like that's like his brother, you know what I'm saying? So leave that to cats like that. But let's not do that when we at a underground or up and coming or even amateur level. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
at a
definitely.
pro level, mainstream level, sure. You know what I mean? Kendrick Lamar probably can get anything changed. You know what I mean? Nas can get anything changed. But anybody else, I think you should just, shut the fuck up and get to work and make some music. And then after you hear it, then change but at least get the work done. You know what I'm saying? It causes a lack of productivity. I like to be extremely productive. That's just me though. You know what I mean?
I mean, just for reference, the new album is like 13 tracks. I think nine of the songs I changed the beat. A1 recorded on a different beat. I switched the beat. He never pushes back on it because he always just trusts me. I'm like, bro, I got this crazy new beat. And even I'm sure there's sometimes where he's like, man, I like the old one. But and then even then I might switch it again or whatever. But we've always had just that trust in each other that he trusts me to just if I play around with the beats and the tracks long enough, we usually come up with some good shit. So
And it's how you make magic, man. Just letting it flow, letting it go, getting to the finish line. I believe in that. I don't believe in house music and just holding shit, you know what I mean? And never putting stuff out. Like I want all my shit put out, all my music, all my raps. I want it out there for the because I wrote it for people. I didn't do it for me. You know what I mean? I wrote it for people to hear. So I want it out there. So with me wanting my music out there, I don't have time to waste going back and forth over something that, you know, might not be the right choice. And I don't know, man. I've gotten this far from trusting the guys on the other end. So I truly believe in that. And, every time I had a producer try to tell me about my rhymes, it just didn't work and nothing came in fruition. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, yeah, I think that's how we stay productive and we trust each other, and I think it calls for growth. It helps you grow as well as a musician when you're flexible, because when you're flexible, you're more available for opportunities.
On the song Universal Minds, you talk about feeling worthless because your style of rap doesn't pay the bills. And in the chorus, you say you're expressing love, and you say you're a part of me. Um, will there ever come a time where love isn't enough and you have to walk away from music?
Nah, because even though I say it's not paying the bills. Music pays the bills, but it's not what I would like. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm feeling like, there could be more. So nah, I'm not walking away from music. I got another decade or more in me. So, you know, it's just feeling like what we do is kind of like, not celebrated. But I think that's changing too. You know what I'm saying? The reception for this album has been incredible. And I appreciate everybody listening and rocking with us right now. So maybe that's changing. I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's just how I was feeling that day.
Okay. Well, last question. What do you guys hope to achieve with Golden Era 2?
I would say positive impact, make an impact. We felt like the stakes was high. This is something for our legacy, to continue our legacy from Golden Era, knowledge itself, actual proof, nothing less, and then Golden Era 2. I think we got a hell of a legacy. So that's what this was about. It was just meeting that mark and making an impact. That's all we want to do. Make an impact, leave a mark, let people know we was here, and that we still here and we still got more to give.
Yeah, I think it was just about trying to move the needle. We kind of been quiet for the last couple of years, so we just wanted to, yeah, like everyone said, let people know we're still here and just, yeah, exactly. Just, yeah, just make our mark, man. I mean, this is our fifth studio album, so it's like there's not a lot of groups who have done, 5 albums together. It's very few. And I'm super proud of just the body of work that we put together, man. There's not a lot of skip tracks in those 5 albums, so I think it was just about continuing our legacy and trying to move the needle and let people know we're still here, basically.
Or all right. A1 Phonics. Thank you for joining realhiphop.com.
No
Thank you,
doubt.
man.
Thank you, man. Great talking.
All right.
Keeping hip hop
I'm,
journalism alive, bro. I appreciate you.
I'm
For
trying,
real,
man.
there's very few, there's very few people who are still doing that. So,
Bro, that means a lot to me. That means so much to me. Thank
no,
you. I'm trying. All right, y'all. Peace.
All right,
peace,
peace.
brother.
Yeah, Awon and Phonics. We had to double back on this joint.